see you there. My name's Stephen Weitz.
Welcome to BETC Backstage. My name is Bryce Alexander and I'm the Director of Social Media here at the Boulder Ensemble Theater Company. Well, Season 5 is coming up quickly, so here we are to talk to the cast, the crew, and the directors of Doubt, our first show of the season. But before we get to today's interviews, let's take a recap from what our director told us about Doubt in our season preview.
Doubt is the story of Sister Aloysius Bouvier, who is the principal in a Catholic school in the Bronx. And she has a suspicion that the new parish priest is acting inappropriately with a student in her school. And the play is really the story of her investigation of those suspicions. And one of the reasons I think it's going to be really intriguing to our audiences is that it is a story about how life is never as simple as it seems. We tend to measure existence nowadays in sound bites and really short, quick stories with quick judgments. And this play is really a tale of four people whose interactions with each other show us that life is never as simple as it seems, and that the complexity of the situation we encounter really prevents us from being able to make snap judgments about guilt or innocence or blame.
Let's begin our Doubt rehearsal special by talking to our actress Rebecca Remaly all about how the process has affected her so far.
Sister James finds herself caught in the middle of a conflict between Sister Aloysius, who is a member of the convent but also the principal of St. Nicholas School, and Father Flynn, who is a pastor with the church. This play explores the issue of black and white, you know, an absolute sort of yes or no, right or wrong, and all the areas of gray that fall in between. Sister James finds herself, you know, kind of swimming in a world of gray, and battling with people or confronting people that have a version of their absolute right and the absolute wrong. Something that has surprised me throughout this rehearsal process so far is that I've really found what a great value it is to be comfortable with not always being right, and to be comfortable with not always having the right answer, you know, and knowing, and I think there is really some comfort in that, to know that you don't have to be at your 100% all the time, and you can say, I don't know, or I'm not sure, and that's perfectly acceptable.
Next, I sat down with Stephen Weitz to talk about his process personally, but also to ask him what effect he thinks his character has on such a charged political climate like our own.
I'm playing Father Brendan Flynn in Doubt, a young priest who is relatively new to his parish of St. Nicholas. He's just starting his second year at the parish and has worked very hard to institute what he views as progressive education and progressive views of the church in light of recent developments within the church. And during the course of events, he finds himself in conflict with Sister Aloysius, the head nun and principal of the school, who accuses him of wrongdoing with one of the students, and he has to defend himself against those allegations.
Do you feel a certain amount of pressure because of what's happening recently in the Catholic Church, playing a priest in a politically charged atmosphere?
I feel like the play certainly touches on that issue, and I think that Shanley deliberately uses that as a hot-button issue. But ultimately, I feel that the play is not really about that. I think what he wants us to do is examine our own feelings of certainty and belief, our own moral standards. The issue of the church and what's happened in the church in recent years, I think, is really a gateway or a lens for us to view the issue through. We're very fortunate to have partnered with St. Thomas Aquinas, one of the local Catholic parishes, and they're helping us actually foment that discussion between BETC and the community, which I think is a really good thing. It's an issue that has suffered a little bit from the cover-up as much as the actual actions, and I think it's great that we can be a vehicle to help bring that conversation into the light. One of the great things about exploring the role to this point for me has been really finding that backstory of who the person is and what he has or hasn't done. It's never explicitly laid out in the play, and it's a great opportunity for an actor, I think, to create that story for themselves without having to stick to certain facts that are presented in the script. It really helps, I think, keep it fresh and new and all the actors engaged in what all the various possibilities could be, because we never actually know.
And finally today, I talked to our guest artist Elizabeth Dowd about playing Sister Aloysius.
My character is Sister Aloysius Bouvier. She is the principal of St. Nicholas School in the Bronx, in the U.S., in New York, in 1964. She's an old school nun, and her dilemma is that she suspects a priest within her parish of behaving inappropriately with boys in the school. She's also caught right at the cross current between the old church and the new church, or the sort of shift into a more community-based church, and that's very difficult for her. I would say the final moment of the play is, at this point, the one that has most taken me by surprise, because I feel like it's become very clear to me what's happening for her in that moment, and what she is responding to, and what the chasm is that has opened. And that's, it's moving to me.
Well, that's all we've got for this week, but stop by next week for our in-depth conversation with Gandia Johnson. I'm Bryce Alexander, and until next time, we'll see you at the theater.